My name is Chef Eddie Ruiz, and this is Talks on the Rocks. This cocktail is a dessert cocktail composed of capriotada, and it's really special because I made my own liqueur made with vanilla, anise, cinnamon, and cardamom. So I did the dessert for Rob because I know he has a sweet tooth, and he would really appreciate the making of our own spirit, and he's a sucker for ice cream. And this is Afternoon Delight.
So it's rich and nutty and definitely boozy, which I can appreciate as a barman. A lot of spice and definitely cardamom right off the bat. I'm half Indian, so I can appreciate that. My name's Darwin Chopra. I'm a co-owner and barman of Corazon y Miel restaurant in Southeast LA. Been there for almost 3 years now. It's definitely a labor of love, something that myself and two friends of mine started. So, all right, where do we start? Damn.
Well, first off, me and Eddie grew up together. We went to kindergarten together. We had our communion together. We got pictures like in our little like church outfits, dressed up as angels. Like we did all that shit. And we were homies like, all the way up until adulthood. Throughout the years, we started in kindergarten. We went off into separate schools, but we kind of stayed connected through like birthdays and stuff like that. And kind of like in our mid-20s, we reconnected when Eddie was going to culinary school. And at the time, I was working for my family business, doing bullshit office work. And Eddie was working for Bank of America, I believe, and then basically did like a 180 and decided to jump into culinary school. And it was something that I remembered like throughout the years. He was always like very into food, and anytime we had parties, like he was always the one that was like jumping in the kitchen, like cooking stuff up. So when he decided to kind of like just drop everything and then go all out and then go to culinary school, it was really inspiring. And I was like, holy shit, like that's cool, man. Like that's so tight to see you just jump into something like that. And so that was kind of like where we reconnected from just being like friends throughout kids, and then as adults we kind of had this thing that we were really, really passionate about. And I had discovered my interests in cocktails and mixology and all that stuff. Once he graduated culinary school, we basically just started collaborating. We didn't really have an idea of what we were gonna do. We just thought like, hey, like we're both really excited about food. We're both really excited about kind of entertaining and being creative. So he would come over to my place. I was living in East Hollywood at the time. And we would really just kind of like fuck around and like, just like hang out, just drink, smoke, and like talk about ideas, talk about food, go shopping, put together menus. And that kind of translated into us inviting friends over and really kind of doing the whole pop-up dinner thing just throughout our own community. And so we would do that for probably about a year casually while we both had our other jobs. He was working at some different restaurants at the time and still had a day job. I had a day job, and this was basically like our side hustle, like the thing that we would collaborate on and really be passionate about. We were constantly really just being like, man, like what are we gonna do with this like food concept? At the time, it was like a catering and pop-up idea. And as that kind of escalated and we became more and more excited about it, we eventually connected with this guy who owned a coffee shop in Echo Park, and that became the venue for our first like official pop-up that we invited a bunch of people to, like busted our ass to actually make it happen, prepped everything in our own homes, like didn't sleep the night before, and just made it work. The idea being that we basically are a kitchen and being as creative as possible with it, not really having boundaries, not really limiting ourselves to any cuisine or any formal business structure. Literally just two dudes who wanna like get together and make food, make drinks, and have a good time and really express our passion for hospitality and entertaining people. We had no fucking clue what we were doing, and
So we just did it, and we were really excited because at the time, like, you know, the word pop-up, and still even now, the word pop-up is like such a sexy word. It's such a cool thing, and it's really empowering too. And we really felt kind of special, or I felt special for being able to like have this thing that we just did in our apartments on the side, and then be like, look, like we can do this, like we can actually like serve people in like a business setting, and like, you know, have like a restaurant, so to speak. So from that, we very quickly after that got connected to the owner of the restaurant where we currently are, and that also was just through complete chance. The owner of the coffee shop, his uncle owned the space that we occupy now, and he approached us and was like, hey, like, you know, I know you guys are doing this like food thing. I know you know, I don't know what you guys are trying to do with it, but my uncle has this space in Bell. You should go look at it. Me and Eddie are like, where the fuck is Bell? We don't, you know, we've never been there before, but why not? Like, let's go see what's up with this place. And we look it up, we see the address, and we're like, oh, Bell. It's like, you know, it's just off the 710 freeway. Like, that's not too far. So we go take a look at it, and the space itself was actually really nice. It was a really cool place, and you know, the owner was fairly receptive to our ideas, and you know, to really put it simply, it was just like a right time, right place type of scenario where we were presented with really an incredible opportunity, given that we didn't have money, we didn't have a ton of experience. We just really had passion and drive and talent, and a situation in which we were given a chance to just jump into a restaurant business. So we were introduced to the space. Actually, we didn't even get the keys to the place until January. So January, February, March, 3 months, we were able to turn this space around and basically create Corazon y Miel. And I had zero professional experience when I opened the restaurant. I was what you would probably call like a cocktail nerd or just an enthusiast. I was extremely interested and had spent a good amount of my college years, most of my college years, drinking, partying. And you know, while I should have been studying, I was really just kind of reading up on like cocktails and drinks, and so I was an enthusiast. But given the opportunity to open the restaurant, I really just threw it all out there, and I was like, all right, let's make it happen. It was definitely rough in the beginning, but thankfully, you know, I had a good amount of help. Our opening bartender, bar manager, mixologist, Darwin, was a good friend of mine, and he basically came on board, and we really partnered up and created the bar program, and through that first year, went from like 0 to what it is now, which I'm extremely proud of, which I would call 100. Why not? And basically just kind of it was like a trial by fire, I guess you could say, of learning the ropes, taking what we knew and just being very hardworking and very diligent about, you know, kind of respecting techniques and respecting what you know, the recipes and history were out there. I mean, that's really what we were passionate about, and tailored it to what we think stands up to, you know, a lot of the bar programs out there. In terms of what it is, you know, Latin American-based spirits, really heavily influenced by the concept of the restaurant, out to California. Just taking inspiration from the Latin American culture that is around us and that we grew up with. Agave spirits, pisco, refreshing, kind of on a greater sense in terms of the restaurant. Funky, fun, creative, full flavor. And that's what we really try and express in any of the drinks that we do, is just that kind of intensity of you know, culture, flavor, and presentation. From like really like the first year of the restaurant, it was just like an like one crazy experience after the other. It's like, holy shit, we're opening this restaurant. Is this really happening? To holy shit, Jonathan Gold's in this restaurant. Is this really happening? To holy shit, we're on the top 101 restaurants. Like, what the hell is going on? And you know, we felt incredibly lucky, but at the same time, like, we were also extremely driven and extremely passionate about rising to the challenge of providing, you know, that level of experience and service that really inspired us just from being, from being, foodies, chefs, bartenders, what we really wanted to do. I mean, regardless of like the scenario or the challenges, like we just wanted to make this happen. Like we wanted to be in the restaurant business, and I mean, really it was a blessing that we had the opportunity, and it's definitely a challenge, as any business is, but we're really lucky to be here 3 years strong, and just excited for what's to come. So, word up. Click here to subscribe, and visit us at Corazon y Miel, 6626 Atlantic Avenue in the city of Bell, Southeast LA, just off the 710 freeway for fantastic cocktails, food, fun for the whole family. CorazonYmiel.com, Instagram, Corazon y Miel, CorazonYmiel@gmail.com. Hit us up, follow us, come on down. Let's have a good time.
Perfect.
Cool. We had no clue what we were doing, in case you have to edit out language. I don't know.
No edits.
Oh, okay. We had no fucking shit balls clue what we were doing.